Having done all of these, I'll put in the last one in now. You're putting in these kind of pin curls that you wrap around your finger. If you want it to be quite tight, you can wrap around one finger, or if you want it to be looser, wrap around 2 fingers. Of course, you can do this with a heated tongue as well, but this is really just a way of doing it that is quite quick, that will get you a kind of a wave going on, and that doesn't really require any real expertise. I mean, there's nothing to use other than a sectioning clip here. It's only slightly damp. This is a good point for you to really get on with, you know, something else. I mean, either put your makeup on or, you know, choose your outfit and start to get dressed. So you really don't even need to bother drying it. Of course, if that's not feasible, put a dryer on it, and just if you've got a diffuser, that's great. Just something that is going to just gently dry it, that last 10%. But in fact, it will dry naturally. See there? So you're doing that. And then these ones at the front, which I've done more gently, I've just got that little bit of a bend going on here. So it's quite nice if you keep the ones around the hairline quite gentle, so they can just have one movement into it. And this can either be brushed out, or you can just fold it into something that's just a very kind of modern, contemporary chignon that's very loose and just very loosely pinned in. And it really doesn't take that much skill in order to just blend it in and stick some bobby pins or some grips in there. And the great thing about this is it doesn't really matter, even if throughout the evening, if the odd bit actually starts to come away, because that's part of its charm, that it has that kind of slightly off kind of look. So we can see. So already, without even doing too much in terms of disturbing this, I mean, what's quite nice and what makes it look quite modern is that you don't need to really brush it out that much. I mean, it's really quite nice when it has that sort of slightly off kind of look, and it has all of the marks in it. If you just take some of that and do something either that's a kind of very loose, low updo that doesn't really look too much like an updo. So if you've got very, very thick hair, then what you should do is just separate this. So it's almost like you're taking the whole of the back section away, and with that, just very, very loosely bring it in as if you were putting it into a ponytail. Now you can either use a covered band here, or if you don't have necessarily that thick hair, just twist it in so it just becomes something very delicate there. And if you just hold it in there, you can then just take a grip or a bobby pin, whatever you call it, and just hold that, and then just fold everything around it just to start to very loosely get a kind of a really kind of very gentle but quite a sexy sort of feel to it. You can see, you can start to spread a lot of this, and then you can then just bring everything else over it, and you then find that if you've got quite thick hair, you're not having to kind of worry about where the direction is. You've got all of the underneath very, very secure, but in fact what then happens over the top becomes very, very gentle and almost kind of mermaid-like. We like that idea, don't we?
We do.
Okay, and as I said before, one of the great things about it is that the real beauty of it is that it doesn't really want to be too perfect. You can also take this to be slightly asymmetric, as I've done here. I've actually taken this slightly over one side. And don't be afraid to then just pin it in loosely. If you need to, put a little bit of hold-in spray on it. But again, it shouldn't look like it's been done too much, but you just have that very, very soft sort of feel to everything. If you're just out for the day and you keep it very, very unstructured, or if you're out for the evening and you want something that is a kind of, that has a bit of a formality in it being up, but it doesn't look formal at all. It looks quite young. It's quite nice to keep some of that part at the front, something that looks kind of elegant but sort of, you know, not too fussy. Perfect. And here we go, we have our up doing under
10-minute do.
in under 10 minutes. I'll drink to that.